You know, lately I've been feeling like a new person. Like they locked me up and stripped me, spun me around until I could no longer feel the ground beneath my feet. Until I cried every tear I had, until I hit rock bottom and made every mistake I could possibly make, until the idea of weak was no longer an option. Unstable, yeah. Unstable, they said. Born with a glitch and I go fix that table leg. But where? Where is it that I start? Just start somewhere, they said. And so I did, and I couldn't figure all the figures. I saw the figure staring back at me in the mirror, heart saying you've got something to deliver. But before you step into service, you've got to understand what hurt is. What hurt is? What hurt is, you say? Haven't I felt enough? I still vividly remember the day that everything crushed, that everything crumbled. But they said, listen, that weren't enough. That was just the start, and I get ready to really feel the rough. A diamond in the crust of the earth's surface, it's got to feel the pressure before it feels nurtured. But don't be afraid, the steps will reveal themselves along the way. You don't have to map it out, we already done that. Just got to explore, go collapse on the shores of the ocean. Take out your boat and drown in the waves until you learn how to float. Fly high into the sky and get lost in your surroundings. Go on, sit up there, torment yourself until you can see where the ground is. Then sit on the earth and feel burdened and stagnant until you appreciate the beauty and until you understand it. And then look at the sun. Go stand as close as possible and let it torture you before you finally see the torch in you. And so here I am, still standing, understanding, I am. Okay, so here we have it, the next area that I'm going to be working through. Look how beautiful this bamboo is. Den was telling me yesterday that it takes 4 years to grow and that when they're adult they haven't got dust on it, so I'm assuming that this fluffy stuff is like the dust he's talking about. And when they get old, see how this here is no dust. I'm assuming, I don't know that for sure, but that's what he said, that how you can tell if it's new or old. So maybe this has just come into its ripe old age. I can't be sure, but it's just interesting, you know. Look at all this. This is just like beautiful nutrition for the ground. Just tiny little leaves, they'll break down. The energy will go into the ground and it'll just be like beautiful. There's something about looking at it, this looks so nice. I love it. So now what we've got is some clear space. A bunch of piles of leaves, you can see them dotted everywhere. Just in a little area. And what I'll do is now take all of these piles of leaves over and suddenly a whole chunk of land is going to look really clear. And then the next step will just sort of reveal itself to me. You can see it's looking better already, but wait until I get rid of all these piles.
I work with what I got and it ain't much, but look, I try, cause I don't see limitations when I'm staring at the sky. It's just as high to you as it is to me, and no amount of things could separate the distance between. See, what I'm saying is legit and I always present it. There were times I locked it up and that would make me resent.
So much fun.
It was really, really windy when I left you. I was like, oh, whoa, the storm's coming. And so, you know that big tree with the yellow flowers?
Yeah.
I stopped there and picked some because they were like blowing around like crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, because I've been wanting to use them to dye my robe. I was like, I better go get holly.
Yo YouTube, I just arrived at Tony and Ben's. Bit of a late one this morning, bit of a late rise. It's Sunday, so you know, rise a bit later. Last night it rained basically, so the pond that the guys are digging out is started to fill up with water, so they can't continue that today. I'll show you where the pond has got to. Looking good. Helped dig out some of it yesterday, and oh my god, the workout is insane. Look at that, started to fill up with water. There's a little bit to go, that gap that they're joining those two bits and just chopping off that corner there, and then it'll pretty much be complete anyway. Now I have been fabulously given a square here to grow some veggies on. So there's 4 little plots, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I want to get these dug out, so I'm going to get to digging on that today. I already started it yesterday, and again that's pretty hard. I like it though because I like the workout element, you know. But let's get going on it. I'm excited. Started digging all that up. So I've never done this before, so I'm not entirely sure like what the steps are, but I'll be told along the way. The morning didn't go quite as planned. You know, when I first picked up this rake after I filmed earlier, I was like, oh, my shoulder feels stiff and sore. I was like, I don't think I've got the energy to do this. And I went and sat in the kitchen, spoke to Tony for a bit, had a bit of bread with jam, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and sit in one of the hammocks. Went to sit in a hammock, mosquitoes got me. So I was like, do you know what, let's just go back down and see if I can dig. And like, I wasn't feeling that great. And picked it up, modified my technique a little bit, didn't push my arm out as far, took some of the pressure off my shoulder, and I've actually found a new technique where I feel like I'm getting better dig into the soil, because remember I haven't done this type of a movement before. So it's you know, every swing is thought about still, you know, it's not natural yet. So once I've mastered the movement, I won't have to think about it. And so what's beautiful about the nature is you get into it, you work with it, and it's just so relaxing. It's addictive. It's so relaxing that it's addictive, you know. Just, you know, it really is. It's really beautiful. That went straight through a stone there. Straight through it, clean break. This one looks like a sea creature. Literally just looks like an animal. So I'm just gonna have a little 2-minute break. The one thing I'm learning from this nature thing is that, you know, I said one thing. Clearly I'm learning so many things from nature, but usually when we do things, we go all in full steam with the idea that we want to get it finished, achieving that last thing, that final thing, but you know, not really appreciating every single thing that you learn along the way. And you know, sometimes when you think in terms of goals, even if they're long-term goals, you're thinking short-term, you're thinking about coming to the end of something. You know, when it comes to this and working in nature, like, sure, I'm about to dig up this pit here, or I'm going to clean an area, but after that there's going to be something else to do, and after that there's going to be something else to do. And like, you know, I'm going to be applying my body to this every single day for however, God knows how long. It's not really about rushing and trying to get it done fast. It's like, take regular breaks, take regular intervals, because if you're going to be dedicating your life to this, whether that's a job, right, you know, you sit there at a computer for 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, sometimes 15, and you're not taking regular breaks. You go powering through 4 hours because you've got shit to get done. But you know, if you're going to be doing that for the next 10 years, you don't need to take it like that. You know, we're in such a rush all the time in this world, and I'm guilty of it, because I just go when I'm in the thing, and I'm like, nah, don't break yet, you can keep going, you got more in you. But you know, how much more have you really got in you? Like, you want it to last a lifetime, or maybe you don't, but it's not all about getting to the end and then starting something new and then, you know, quick finish this, because then I'm going to do the next one, you know. So just take your time, take rest, take breaks. And I notice the guys do that. They stop, have something to eat, they have a chat, they have a drink, and then they go back to it. And they take it slow, they're not rushing. You know, their body is going to be doing this for a long time. And so I'm really learning about, I guess, just chilling out whilst doing things and not having to rush to get it finished or get it complete, because it's a work in progress. And another interesting thing is technique. You know, I'm finally found my technique. Tried so many ways of swinging that bloody thing, and sometimes it goes deep and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it crumbles out of my hand and sometimes it doesn't. And yeah, and I finally found the way to do it, how to aim. I finally found how to aim. I finally got my technique. So I probably look like a bit of a loser in some of the starter clips that I'm probably going to put on here, but I'm definitely finding my way now. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that really. After my big spiel earlier about technique and that, turns out I wasn't getting the right technique, but now I've got it. Den came and showed me the right technique, so Den showed me how to use it today, and yeah, goes much deeper, pulls up the soil. Basically it wasn't getting deep enough, so I wasn't pulling up all the roots. And he said if I don't get all the roots up, then like seedlings won't grow. I'm round 2, proper technique, insert footage type thing here. But yeah, it's definitely getting deeper and turning that soil, it looks a lot better.
Okay, done. Cool here.
So today YouTube has been quite an interesting day. I've recognised something in my chart that like I've seen before but I haven't really been able to fully understand, and that is my T-square. I have a T-square which is like there's 2 planets opposite each other and then one squaring the 2 opposing planets. I've got Jupiter wanting expansion in my 11th house, and it's being shouted at by, or being arguing with the moon in my 5th house, joy and creativity and stuff. And these are 2 areas in my life that I have been challenged with, and they are squared with Pluto in the 3rd house. It's quite interesting because the missing sign is Taurus and the 8th house. Taurus is all about material resources, money and all that kind of stuff. The sign that I'm being directly pointed to is Taurus, and at the moment I've attracted a massive Taurus energy into my life. Somebody who I just feel in awe of, actually. If I watch and observe and learn a lot from him, and this part of my journey that I'm just stepping into is all about learning to manifest resources. I'm not interested in manifesting material, and Taurus in the 2nd house, sorry, money. Taurus in the 2nd house is linked to money, right? Because that's how we buy things, but in the real world it would be linked to material. And Taurus has the natural knack of of understanding resources and knowing how to work with resources and taking the resources that we have and making something beautiful from them. And that is exactly what this person does. It just seems like that T-square is naturally sorting itself out, which is incredible. And yeah, that I just find that really interesting and wanted to touch on it for this video. Another interesting thing that I've been thinking about is, you know, my cat went missing. My beautiful boy Eco, he went missing 4 weeks after I moved him from Australia to Thailand. Me and my partner brought him over. We couldn't leave him. We could not leave him. It's not like that, you know. We love him. And he went missing 4 weeks later, and it was hard. And he went missing when I was in Melbourne, and my reaction was like, I was absolutely fuming. I couldn't, you know, I was pissed. Like, my baby's gone missing. I was so mad. And when he was here, I was a lot calmer. I was like, okay, learn from that lesson. You don't need to react like that. There's nothing you can do. You don't need to get angry. Calm down. And 6 months later, you know, he's still gone. And I've been really trying to think like that in a way that, you know, he's a cat, right? He's not a pet. He's a cat. He's an animal, and he deserves freedom. And I've babied him, you know, like, you can't go out at night. No, you stay in. And he wanted to. That's what he wanted to do. The night he went missing, he was begging me to let him out, and he snuck out. He managed to find his way through a gap, and, you know, I babied him and didn't let him do what he wanted to do. And if somebody did that to me, do you know what I mean? I'd be trying to escape too. Yeah, he's now, you know, getting that sense of freedom, hopefully. Hopefully he's all good and safe and sound and alive. But, you know, he's on his own journey now as his little soul. And whatever it is that he's learning, if he's healing someone, I hope he's healing them. If he's healing himself, I hope he's doing good. And if he's learning to be a wild animal, and, you know, I hope he's doing good, and I hope he's loving it. He's a jungle boy, and so he's in an environment that is absolutely beautiful for him if he's decided that, you know, it's time for him to go solo. But if he came back into my life, I would not treat him in the same way that I did before. He has to be free. If I lost him because I needed to transform, this transformation is kind of complete in itself, come to the end of its cycle, and that he makes his way back to me, and he's learned whatever he needs to learn. I don't know if he will, but, you know, I really hope he does. I keep coming across so many cats that remind me of him lately. There's something, he's on my mind a lot at the moment. And even a friend just messaged today and said, how's Eco doing? I haven't seen him in a while, and I haven't posted or spoken about it because I just didn't want to. Part of me felt ashamed, you know, that I didn't know how to really admit that was the truth. I don't know what's going to happen, but, like, I just hope that his little white ball of energy, you know, makes his way back to me. I really hope it does. But if it doesn't, you know, you go through this life and loss occurs, and, you know, things move on, and basically I've just got to wish that he's happy wherever he is, and if he's passed, then, you know, I hope he's with me in spirit. But yeah, that's just another thing that I've been thinking about lately. If we're going to be reunited through this death of the old self and rebirth, and perhaps he's done the same thing, maybe he's killed off, you know, the baby in him that's scared of things, and, you know, hopefully we come back together and have a union, and we get to live by each other in a new way. That is my hopes. Anyway, that's it for now.
Tell me, why should I plan? Why should I plan to build the road that goes into open space when I've never come across that space before?
Guys, whilst I'm busy uploading the next video to my channel, can you hear the rain? Don't tell me you can't, because you must be able to. That rain is intense, but let me tell you something. This rain means that it is almost time to re-record the music video to Let the Rain Pour. I am so excited about this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be sick. Hoping the video is going to be really, really cool. So yeah, Let the Rain Pour. The new video will be coming soon, because rainy season is officially here. It has rained every night for the past 3 nights, so I'm sure it is rainy season. Rainy season has come. So I'm excited for that. Stay tuned. It is coming soon. Basically, I felt like jumping on it today because, like, today really is the first time in a little while that I felt a little bit lost.